Welcome back to Run It Back with Max and RJ. Right off the bat, I'm the only one with any sort of technology this time.
I know. What is going on here? I got no laptop. I got no phone. So I'm going to miss out on the KD is out for the rest of the postseason alerts that are coming through. But
before we get to that,
this will help us stay less distracted. Plus,
right.
kind of a dress down set a little bit. Yeah,
I like this.
Our buddy Dom is out, so we went kind of old school.
We're doing it live.
Yeah, we're doing it live. But
hi,
Andrew is still here.
Wait, we got an impromptu guest coming through. What up, Tori?
Tori Young, looking for ice.
Tori, actually, I feel bad because Tori asked for help just a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't help you. I'm doing the pod.
Yeah.
And I feel like she thought I was lying, so this is her checking on us.
Yeah.
Do you want to come
it.
through?
Yeah, do you just want to squeeze
conveniently,
in real quick? Yeah.
just
This is it. Sorry.
that could be the only
Nice.
thing on here. Bye, Tori.
Okay.
Save sandwiches, please.
Yeah.
Think about it.
All right,
What are your thoughts on the
appreciate you.
Spurs? No.
No, we're doing
good.
this. We're keeping it all. We're
I saw
all
her
right.
actually
We're
peek her
still
head
only going to
through
make it
there.
25 minutes. No, we're doing it. No, Andrew, this is how we do it. We're very
We're doing it
candid
live.
here. We're doing it live. No, Andrew, this is how we're doing it. Okay, so we only wasted a minute and 20 seconds with an
Yeah,
intro.
we're good,
That's
we're
a heck
good.
of an intro.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know what? Your face looks like that emoji from like the old Mosaic, where it's like,
Wow.
that was good.
I like that. That was
Yeah.
a nice
all right.
reference,
Anyway,
cultural reference.
so we should probably talk. Talk basketball.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So I got a text actually about an hour ago.
Okay.
Saying, "Whoa, did you see the Lakers are trying to trade LeBron?" No, I didn't see that because that is just sports pundits trying to create drama after what is already a drama-filled Lakers offseason. But before
Right.
we get to that actual drama,
Yeah, heard that
let's
as well.
let's
Yeah.
talk about this made-up drama that you're seeing on the Chiron of every or lower graphic.
Yeah. Graphics.
Actually,
chirons,
yeah, that you're seeing on every sports show today. Should the Lakers trade LeBron? So if everyone else is talking about it, we might as well broach the subject. What is your thought?
No, absolutely not. I mean, that's ridiculous. But I've heard that too this morning. I heard it on First Take where Screaming A. Smith was saying that that Jeannie Buss had been told a while back that they should trade LeBron.
So
no,
because you don't have social media
I know,
right now,
man, this is
I just
weird.
got to
I feel
push
naked right
Laker
now.
fans planning a protest outside of Staples tomorrow to voice their displeasure with the front office.
Yeah. What a mess. I mean, you talk about dysfunction, and LeBron was brought in to basically kind of bring cohesiveness to that franchise and look
Steady
at it
the
now.
ship.
Steady the ship.
Him
for
and
sure.
Magic brought in and Rob Pelinka
Yeah.
to make everything normal.
Magic leaves, and then it's pretty much
They
all
don't make the
gone to heck.
playoffs.
Yeah.
Magic leaves without telling anyone.
Yeah, look, here's my thing. I think that during the offseason, when all this kind of calms down a little bit, I still think LeBron is a top 5, 7, 3 NBA player in the league. He's
Yep.
still a great player. And I think that they are going to get a guy. I mean, I don't think they're going to get Kawhi. I don't think they're going to get Durant. But Kyrie now is a possibility.
Just don't jump
Going back
ahead.
to LA.
You don't look at the
so
rundowns I send you.
I don't. This is all just coming off the fly,
Okay,
man. Yeah.
so before we get there, Ben, one of our web producers, who's
yeah.
fantastic, and I take up way too much of his time in the mornings. We were
Yeah.
actually talking.
Wonder
We
that
had,
web stuff
we
is
had
getting done,
efficiency
man.
meetings
Yeah.
today. We had a consultant come in to talk
yeah, I
about
gotta
how to
go to
make
one later.
everyone more efficient.
Right?
I come in early just to talk sports with Ben.
There you go.
Ben
Yeah.
Spicer, he's very knowledgeable, especially
Yeah.
about the Spurs. And he was texting me about the possibility of LeBron leaving the Lakers. And if they were to trade with the Spurs, here we go, make it a full circle, bringing
Okay.
it back to the
All
Alamo
right.
City.
Wow, this is
what
a-
the trade would look like.
Just blew my mind now. Yeah.
Now you're a lot more interested.
Yeah, this is
So
like trade
if
machine stuff.
LeBron, we actually did a trade machine
Oh
via
my
text
God.
before, possibly during, and after the noon show. If you watch the noon show,
That's what happens at 4 o'clock in the morning. Okay.
so here are some of the numbers that we looked at.
Okay.
Okay, so this was my proposal. He said if LeBron were to get traded from LA to San Antonio, what would you say is the minimum offer? I said, I don't buy it happening, but if it did, I said, obviously Lonnie, Derek White, both draft picks, because remember, 2 picks this year because of the Raptors trade, and probably DeMar, if anything, not even to entice. He's also from LA, but also contractually, you have to equal the money.
Right, exactly. So it's yes. It's got to be one of the two big money guys, obviously, for the Spurs. It's got to be DeMar or LaMarcus. Now, I mean, if that offer's on the table, then I'm sure DeMar would be very happy to go back home. Again, the SoCal connection. DeMar's from LA. But on the other end, this is also a very interesting thing that you bring up. I had not even thought about this, so great job by you guys bringing this up. Remember, DeJounte Murray is kind of like LeBron's sort of like his mentor.
They're in the same agency
They both
group.
have Clutch as their agency.
Which may or may not be LeBron's agency, but that's besides the point.
It's LeBron's agency. But yeah, DeJounte is a part of Clutch, and they've hung out during the summer ball, the NBA Summer League. So that would be an interesting thing. DeJounte always kind of gives shots out to LeBron. I think LaMarcus is a guy that would play with LeBron James as well. But again, I just think that is completely insane that the Lakers would remotely think that after one season, after one bad season.
So here, in theory, this is what a starting lineup could look like if this trade were to happen.
Wow. Okay.
DeJounte Murray at point. Somehow, Ben Spicer, we will have him on the show one day. I don't know which camera I'm looking at.
Yeah.
He doesn't have DeMar leaving.
Okay.
So he would have DeMar at the 2.
Okay.
LeBron at the 3.
Uh-huh.
JaMychal Green or Marcus Morris. Free agent signings. We're already looking ahead.
They usually follow
at the
them.
4.
Well, they'll follow LeBron, yeah.
And center would be LaMarcus. On the bench, you'd still have Jakob Poeltl, Bellinelli, and Bryn Forbes.
How does that work money-wise, though?
So money-wise, we also broke that down.
Keeping DeMar,
Patty Mills is $12
LeBron.
million.
Okay.
Rudy Gay's $15 million.
Yeah.
Sign and trade.
Right.
Bertans $7 million. Derek White $2 million. That's $36 million combined. LeBron is set to make $35.6.
Well, but Gay is a free agent, though.
Sign and trade.
I mean, I guess. I don't know what the cap holds are for
Again,
all those
instead
guys.
of the Patty Mills and the Rudy Gay, I would just replace that with DeMar.
Well, here's my deal. I think that no matter if in some universe, like I watched Avengers Endgame, and they talk about multi-universes in a completely multiverse, yes, in a completely different universe.
Andrew,
it would
feel
have
free
to
to
be
chime in whenever you like.
DeMar would have to go probably, or maybe LaMarcus, but DeMar would.
But if you're the
probably be
Lakers,
guy.
you'd want DeMar instead of LaMarcus.
Yeah, I mean, probably DeMar is kind of the guy that I think, because he comes off the books earlier too than LaMarcus does. So, wow, some very interesting speculative talk there.
I
did not see that one coming at all.
So, yeah, right?
Because last summer everyone was like, "Oh, LeBron, the Spurs, LeBron."
No one was saying that except for Adrian.
Okay, yeah, we had a guy who was here who's saying that, one guy. But
if you listen to the pod, you've heard about Adrian.
Pop, the whole deal with Pop. I mean, we'll go, we'll see. And then plus, what happens with Kevin Durant? Whether he leaves is a whole different thing.
Can you stop fast forwarding the rundown?
You know what? I'm reading your mind, man.
We have a level of where. So from LeBron, the next step is Lakers coaching.
Okay.
They can't seem to find a coach.
Okay.
They wanted, first off, Monty Williams, former Spurs assistant coach.
Right. Yeah.
Former Sixers assistant coach.
Yeah.
Also, current Suns coach. But it seems like he was supposed to choose in between the Suns and the Lakers.
Right.
I think it is a testament to that Lakers organization and the chaos that is right now that he chose the Suns.
Absolutely.
Arguably the worst run franchise in the last decade.
Yeah.
So, Lakers coaching, they thought they had Ty Lue.
Yeah.
Ty Lue, actually, fun fact, his birthday cake had Lakers.
I saw that. Yeah.
So,
congrats, coach, or something like that. Yeah. That was pretty fun.
Contract talks broke down yesterday. So what I saw two different things. One, he wanted at least 3 years guaranteed.
Right.
They didn't want to make that deal. I also saw that they wanted to ensure that Jason Kidd was going to be on his coaching staff.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is foreshadowing because he was there when David Blatt was on the Cavs. He was the main coach. He got fired. Ty Lue, because he's a respected player in the league, stepped up, won a championship. It almost seems like he didn't want that to happen again with Jason Kidd because they already liked him.
Yeah.
So he's like, I want 3 years guaranteed, and I don't want Jason Kidd because he's easily could replace me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like it's essentially your understudy right there. I mean, you have to deal with this on a day in, day out basis.
It's like Tom Brady getting rid of Jimmy Garoppolo.
Exactly. This is ridiculous. I don't know. I mean, if the Lakers really wanted Ty Lue, then they should have done what Ty Lue wanted. I don't get this whole Jason Kidd thing. I think because Kidd was with LeBron on the Redeem teams and on the U.S. Olympic
Also, he's
teams.
one of the best point guards of all time.
Yeah, but he's not a good coach. We saw him in Milwaukee, and we saw him in Brooklyn.
Here's the argument,
Jason Kidd is not a good coach.
Here's the argument.
Okay.
I have two things. One, in Brooklyn, I mean, he just steadied the ship. They had
Sure.
enough All-Stars. They won with him.
Yeah.
It was fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, he didn't do anything
He's
wrong
kinda
in
like,
the Nets.
just
He
there,
was
a
there.
figurehead. Yeah.
Right. He couldn't beat the Heat, but no one
Right.
could.
Okay.
Except for the Spurs.
Yeah.
So, that's important to note.
Yeah.
So, then he goes to Milwaukee.
Uh-huh.
Team is rebuilding. No expectations. He was the
Sure.
one
Okay.
who put Giannis at point guard.
Uh-huh.
He was the one who put the ball in Giannis's hands.
Yeah.
Because remember, there were so many know-it-all big heads on TV that were like, Giannis was picked way too early. Kid's not going to do anything.
I mean, Giannis
so he
was
was the one who
18
recognized
years
the
old.
talent
Yeah.
and already started framing a team around him.
Sure. Yeah.
I think you have to give him a little credit for that.
I mean, sure, you give him some credit. Plus, again, the fact that LeBron is very high on him and the Lakers, the organization, they're very high on him.
and at
But-
this point, don't you give LeBron what he wants?
But at this point, but I think if Ty Lue is, if I'm looking at this from Ty Lue's perspective, I don't want Jason Kidd on my
No,
staff.
I wouldn't.
So why? So I think he made the wise choice
Yeah.
to not be the head coach.
Also-
so why not just hire Jason Kidd now? At
That's
this
my
point?
question. Why wouldn't
I
they
mean,
just directly go to
Yeah.
Jason Kidd?
What a mess. Yeah.
Also important to note, Ty Lue was having like mental and physical ailments when he was coaching with the Cavs.
Yeah, he did have some.
He
some
like
health
took like a
issues.
huge
Yeah.
sabbatical in like Cabo.
Yeah.
So you know what, Ty Lue, you've made your player money, you've made your coaching money.
Yeah,
You
I
can write
think
books and
Ty
do
Lue's
NBA
fine.
talk.
Yeah.
Just chill.
Yeah, I think he's good. And for the Lakers, why not just hire Jason Kidd at this point? I mean, you made such a big deal about him. Just bring him in. I mean, LeBron's
go.
almost like a player coach anyway. So.
Andrew.
Andrew is, okay.
Oh, I got you, Andrew. All right, so it's at this time that I would first like to
The
say,
social shout-out.
if you've made it 11 minutes and 48 seconds into this pod without turning us off, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure to subscribe and rate us, obviously 5 stars, but whatever your little heart desires. Also important to note, you can follow us on every social media platform, and by that I mean Instagram at RunItBackKSAT, right? Can I get a
Yes.
thumbs up, Andrew? Maybe a smile, smirk? There he is. Smile from ear to ear.
Behind
Golden
the
smile.
camera, yeah.
He is what history books are made of. So anyways, social shout out to, hold on.
Here we go.
Well, here we
yes.
go. Can I get a drum roll? Oh, Tori, she said sorry for crashing the pod.
Oh, sorry.
Tori, no, you
That
are the
was-
star of the pod. All
She
right.
came in looking for ice. I
Michael
don't know what
Galvin.
she blocked
Michael,
out. Yeah.
thank you so much. Also, we want to hear from you. We want to hear some responses on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook. However you want to reach us, just reach us. You
Yeah.
can also comment on the pods. So
There
there,
we
you
go.
go.
There
We
we
want to
go.
hear your input. If you're like, you guys are talking way too much about nothing, we can shorten it up. If it's like, hey, RJ, maybe you should check the rundown before you go on rant. I agree.
Yeah,
We're gonna-
yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So,
You
can't
didn't
talk.
even send them to me anymore.
I did send it to you. Check your email.
Okay, I don't have my phone.
So-
I don't have my laptop.
Touche.
Yeah.
So can't talk Lakers without free agency.
Sure.
Do you think there are any free agents, big name free agents, that are going to go to the Lakers?
Any big name free agents?
Any big name
I
free
would
agents?
say right now, with what we know about the Lakers, I would say no. I mean, we're
What
talking
about Kyrie?
What about Kyrie? I mean,
Kyrie's a big name.
who are we talking about big names here? We're talking about KD or Kawhi?
I would say
KD,
top
Kawhi.
3 tiers.
Okay. So I think that the Lakers could probably get a guy like Jimmy Butler. Who'd
Shut your
want to
mouth.
go over there? Jimmy Butler.
Shut your mouth.
I think Kyrie would be a guy that would make some sense there. But again, if you're talking about like the 2 upper tier guys, KD and Durant, KD and Kawhi, I just don't think that that's going to happen for the Lakers. I mean, it's more likely the Clippers would probably be the route.
This is
for them.
just so interesting to me because I've lived my entire life, and I feel like most basketball fans have, and if you're listening to a podcast, you probably have too.
Yeah.
Where the Clippers have not been a joke because you had the CP3, you had Blake, you had
Yeah.
almost to that
Yeah.
upper echelon of the NBA, just couldn't kind of break through. So it's almost crazy to me that it's like we're actually looking at the Lakers, especially in the last 5 to 10 years, as a joke organization.
Yeah.
And the Clippers have pretty much been iconically stable.
So here's the deal: the Clippers, they have a good owner. They seem to have a now better sort of front office structure. I think Doc is now just the head coach. Lawrence Frank is kind of the not above Doc and probably not.
He's like the president.
He's kind of the president. Then they've also have Jerry West.
Yeah.
That's the big one right there. Kind of the
The
guy
logo
behind
himself.
the curtain. And I think that Jerry West's impact in pulling free agents and getting guys is a pretty big deal because again, you're getting everything out of being in LA, but you're not dealing with the circus that is LeBron James, which I think about with a guy like Kawhi especially. That's the thing. I don't think Kawhi wants to deal with the circus. I don't think Kawhi ever wants to be really much in the spotlight. I'm shocked that Kawhi Leonard goes to the podium now after playoff games. He never did for the Spurs except when they forced him to do it during those finals runs. But I just think it's too much of a circus. But I do think LeBron's gravitational pull will be able to get at least one guy, a Jimmy Butler type level free agent. Yeah.
Okay, several things.
Several things.
Well,
Oh
I'm not
my
disagreeing
God.
with you at all.
Okay.
One,
Yeah.
Kawhi had a phenomenal ad. He's obviously the face of New Balance.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into his shoes because they're a thing. But he was wearing a shirt today or yesterday. I think I retweeted it, and it said, fun guy, period.
Yeah.
Great shirt.
Yeah.
I would buy that shirt because it's hilarious. Because if you remember in his first press conference, the Toronto fans, he was sitting on the podium, and they were like, what's one thing we want Toronto to know about you? And he looks at it, and he says, I'm a fun guy. And he gives the most awkward laugh of all time. But it's one of those things where it's like you can laugh at it.
It's a Kawhi move. And
Exactly.
I think everyone laughed about it.
I'm like fidgeting with this. I'm gonna put it
everyone laughed about it at the time, and look who's laughing now because can we go into a Kawhi discussion here? Or
Yeah, we can go into Kawhi. I didn't write him down because he's been like depressing me. But
I know he is. I know because he's actually torturing your team right now. But again, what we are seeing out of Kawhi right now is
this
is
what
a,
it
is
feels
a guy in his
like?
prime. What do you mean?
Like, is it reminiscent of that Spurs season where they got to the Western Conference Finals?
What year?
The year with the Zaza injury.
Yes. So this is Kawhi during that run because remember he got hurt also in the Houston series. He got hurt in the Houston series in Game 5, tweaked his ankle, missed Game 6. The Spurs won that Game 6 on the road, and then he was balling out of his mind against Golden State in that Game 1. And I think Spurs fans
The first
will
half,
always remember
up
that
25.
He had 26 points. I mean, he was taking it to Durant. So, yes, this is the Kawhi Leonard that I think everyone kind of saw coming. And the part that hurts, I think, for Spurs fans is that you got to basically see a glimpse of Kawhi being at his ultimate apex and his ultimate prime, and what we are seeing now, a dominant force offensively, defensively, and that just gotta hurt because the Spurs were the ones that put all that effort, all that time. Kawhi is a heck of a hard worker himself, but that has gotta hurt, man. And throughout the season, Spurs fans probably kind of kept an eye away from him because Kawhi, again, didn't play the full season. He played 60 games. Spurs were in the playoffs, so the Spurs fans had their own kind of, thing to follow. But now that the Spurs are out and you're seeing Kawhi every night in, night out, as you were seeing, oh my God, this dude's just insane right now. And it stings a little bit. It stings a lot, actually. But, man, this is tough.
So, two things. One, my friends, I have a lot of friends from Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Spoiler, I'm from Philadelphia. One of the things that they said was there's going to be a night where he just has an off game, an awful game where the ball doesn't roll the same way.
Yeah.
My only response to that was, if you look at the ball when he shoots, it is perfect rotation. It is just a gorgeous shot. Somehow he always is able to square up.
Yeah.
The most impressive play I've seen.
It's Adrian.
Oh.
Yeah.
The most impressive play that I've seen from maybe anyone this season.
Yeah.
He is going full speed down the court, and Ben Simmons, who is 6'10", probably 230, runs into him full force. Not only does Ben fall back a little bit, Kawhi falls back and in midair squares up and shoots a perfect jump shot that just goes in perfectly.
Yeah. I mean,
if I didn't say perfect enough there, it was perfect.
No, I see what you mean. I mean, Kawhi can get any shot he wants, and that goes back to Chip England, and we hope that Chip works with our guys. I mean, obviously he's going to work with DeJounte, those guys. But that goes back to Chip, and and again, Kawhi has worked hard. I mean, basketball is his life, so I don't want to completely
he's a fun
say
guy.
that. Yeah, he's a fun guy, obviously. I don't want to say that the Spurs are completely responsible for him, but I definitely see what you mean, man. I remember seeing him in the locker rooms, and I mean, he's just a big guy. You know what I mean? And you could just tell, from the shoulders, the arms. I mean, he just has the typical type of player sort of body that you want.
You got a crush?
You know what I mean? No.
Did he break
It
your
sounds
heart?
like I got a little bit of crush, but no, actually.
Andrew's not even listening. He had such a good line. Okay, I
5
got you. I'm
minutes,
watching it right
5
now. We're at
minutes, all right,
20:05.
all right.
Okay, so we're just going to move right
Sorry,
down the
we're
line.
not in Kawhi
KD
then,
injury.
yeah.
How big of a problem is it for the Warriors, and what's next?
Huge. If he doesn't play in the rest of the series, I mean, Houston, there is no excuse for the Rockets not to win
They
this series.
just so the odds were released.
Yeah.
7.5 point underdog right now. The Warriors are.
Yeah, there's no excuse for the Rockets not to win this series. Remember last year, their big old thing was, well, Chris Paul was
Paul
hurt.
got hurt.
No excuse.
They were also
They
up
gotta
3-2.
win this thing. They got to win this thing. This is legacy building stuff for Harden and CP3.
And you know what? If they do win, my first point ever made on this podcast was that the
Yeah.
Warriors' run is over.
Well,
So
I mean,
go
you know,
Rockets, go! I would
injuries
never wish.
aside.
I would
Injuries
no, not injuries aside. If
Yeah.
it happens, it happens. Injuries are part of the game. I would never wish bad upon anyone. But if
Yeah.
it happens, it happens. So I was right. Next up, Western Conference Finals. Who do you think it's going to be?
Ooh, Western Conference Finals. I
Knowing
mean,
everything that you know now, which is
what
not a
we
lot
have
about the
in
injury.
front of us right now, even though I think Steve Kerr said
Everything
he's not
on the
gonna play
table.
Game 6 already.
Yeah.
I think Kerr said that last night. Everything on the table. I mean, I would go Rockets. I mean, Rockets should win this series
Against?
against. You know what? I think Denver right now. As much as Portland, I'd like to see those guys move on. I think they're a scrappy team. I think Denver's just physicality right now
Yep.
is just overwhelming the Blazers. And it's tough because, man, the Spurs pushed those guys to 7 games.
Yeah.
I mean, you're really thinking about the Spurs. They had pushed a Western Conference Finals team to 7 games.
Well, we also said if you can get past Denver,
It was open.
it was open because we really didn't think that aside from Dame Lillard and CJ McConnell's inconsistency, they have no front court to compete.
Yeah.
And honestly, besides those two guys, no one's getting buckets for them.
No,
you got
and
Zach
that- you're
Collins,
gonna
who I
have-
think is trash.
Yeah, you're gonna have Lillard drop 40 and then somehow go off. Those
Or
two guys
even
in
like
Game 7.
CJ
Yeah.
go off.
Yeah, one of those guys.
Okay, so moving across the state, Celtics are out. It was terrible last night.
Man.
I'm keeping track. I got you. No, I need you, Andrew. I need you. We need you.
We need you, Andrew.
We're a
Andrew's
team.
the heart
You
of
leave
this
no man behind.
operation.
We're not Kyrie already booking our trip to Cabo.
Yeah,
we got
that was
you.
nuts, yeah.
He was awful this last series. I said to Bill Barajas, who sits across from us, across from me, that I really think that Kyrie might have lost max deal just from this series because of his inconsistency, his lack of defense.
Yeah.
He's not the young guy.
No, I still think someone's gonna pay him though because
I think
he's-
someone
how do you
will
not
pay him, but
yeah.
I think watch he'll go to the Nets or something.
Yeah,
or the
Nets,
Knicks.
The Nets
Knicks
will pay.
have money to
the
spend.
The Knicks will absolutely pay Kyrie a max deal, but
The problem is he doesn't make people around him better.
No.
All he can do is go ISO.
his reputation took a massive hit, and it was his own doing. He was constantly blaming the guys like Tatum, Brown. He was blaming the
The
other
young
guys
guys.
for all their issues. No, his reputation took a massive hit. And remember, there was when he wanted to leave Cleveland, the Spurs were in his were at least mentioned as a team. I don't know if San Antonio would even take him. I guess.
So
that'd be
here's
a
the
heck of a
problem,
question.
and this is what I was saying. We only
That'd
have
be
a
a heck
minute.
of a thing to think of. Yeah.
So here's the problem, and I don't think him and Pop would really get along
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Kawhi, the last game, the Sixers were devastated by the Raptors. I'm actually pulling up the line right now so we can do a breakfast bet in a minute. But
Yeah.
the last game, Kawhi didn't even have a phenomenal game
Yeah.
on the offensive end. But he's a player that he got 13 boards. He still ended up with 21 points. It was an ugly 21
Two
points.
steals, yeah.
Exactly.
affecting,
He's
yeah.
a guy who
Yeah.
affects the game, changes the game, and makes people around him so much better, helping his team when he can't score.
Yeah.
When Kyrie can't score, he is awful and he is a burden to the team. The second unit last night, Marcus Smart, Marcus Morris, they were the only productivity that
Yeah.
you saw, and they were
Yeah.
coming off the bench.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Remember we talked about some of
45
our top
seconds.
5 movies ever when you mentioned Remember the Titans?
Yeah.
I always think about that line. Attitude reflect leadership.
I would like
Gary
that.
Bertier,
And it's
attitude
all
reflect
perfect.
leadership. Kyrie Irving's attitude reflected the leadership,
Yeah.
and that's why Boston's out of this thing. But heck, Giannis, man, that guy's
Yeah.
insane to watch.
I'm excited for the next round.
Yeah.
Who do you think it's going to be?
Toronto. I've said Toronto is going
Bucks.
to win the East. Yeah.
Okay.
for the-
That being said, Sixers +2 tonight. This is our breakfast bet. I'm going to take the Sixers.
behind
I'm
him
up
on the
4
bets.
breakfast
Oh my
tacos
God,
on
I'm
you.
just gonna
If
have
I
to
hit
bring-
5, you have to cash in.
I'm just, yeah.
Can
at
we
that
make that a
point, I
rule,
may
Andrew?
have to-
If I'm up 5 breakfast tacos, he has to cash in and bring me 5 breakfast tacos? I'm up 4.
Yeah, Andrew
Tonight's
said
gonna
he's
make
not
it 5.
Okay. Who do I got in this one?
You're taking Toronto minus 2.
You got to take Philly, right? I mean,
I gotta
come on,
take
you gotta
Philly.
Take Philly. Okay, I'll take Toronto. Yeah.
Okay, Toronto minus 2. That is all we have for today.
Man.
Look at us. We're keeping it on time. 25 minutes, 12 seconds. It's only because I love you, Andrew. All right. Thank you so
Follow
much for
us,
listening.
yeah.
Thank you so much for watching. Anything you want to plug?
At KSAT RJ on Twitter, at KSAT RJ on Instagram, and of course, Run It Back on Instagram. Follow us. And subscribe, rate, do everything you can.
5 stars.
Yeah,
5 stars.
Yeah, for this podcast.
Perfect. Also, we started our Great Graduate segment this week.
Ooh,
Very exciting.
nice.
We get to highlight seniors who are doing a lot in school, in classrooms, on the fields, and in their communities.
Great
So many
series.
great stories. So make sure to follow us wherever you get your news.
Yeah,
Thank you so
absolutely.
much. Yeah, I don't have a pen. So.